Good morning, third graders. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. And before we get started, I wanted to make an announcement. Make sure if you haven't already finished your math diagnostic and your reading diagnostic, you finish that today. We need those done as soon as possible because we don't want them to restart and you have to start all over. Okay, let's get into math. So today's math objective is I can express whole number fractions on the number line when the unit interval is 1. So we're going to take a look at the number line yet again and what whole number fractions are. In order to complete the lesson today, you will need a piece of paper and a pencil. So if you don't have that, stop this video right here, right now, get that and come back when you are ready. We're going to represent whole numbers as fractions in a visual model as well as on the number line. So first things first, let's review our parts of a fraction. At the top, you have the numerator or the number of pieces being counted. So this is what's being shaded or counted. At the bottom, you have the denominator. Think down, denominator. This is the total number of pieces in the whole. So this is what makes up all the pieces that makes up one whole. Let's practice that really quickly. So here we have three representations of the fraction 3/5 or 3/5, 3 being our numerator and 5 being our denominator. So here you can see there are 1, 2, 3 pieces shaded, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in the whole. So this is a representation of 3/5 in a circle. Here on a number line, we have 0, we have 1, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Notice I didn't count the lines, I counted the spaces in between the lines. So I'm going to count it again. 1 from here to here, 2 from here to here, 3 from here to here, 4 from here to here, and 5 from here to here. That shows me that my number line is broken up into fifths. And then if I count by 1/5, I have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5 right here, and you see it's circled in red. Then down here, I have another representation of the fraction 3/5. I have 1, 2, 3 that are shaded, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total, for 5 as my denominator, 3 shaded, 3 is the numerator. Okay, so here I have one whole shaded. So next to it, I'm going to label this. This circle represents one whole. Now, let's imagine that this one whole is a cookie. So we have one cookie. I decided to break my one cookie into 2 parts. So now I have 2 pieces, and how many are shaded? Right, we have 2 that are shaded, so that's our numerator, because numerator always tells us the number of pieces that are shaded or being counted. And we have 1, 2 pieces, so that's our denominator. So we know that if we have one whole cookie and we break it into 2 parts, 2/2 or 2 halves is going to give us the same as one whole. So 2/2 and one whole is the same thing. Let's see if we can try it again with a different one. So here in this one, how many wholes do I have? Right, I have 3 wholes. 1, 2, 3. And you can see that they're all shaded in. I'm going to partition or break these holes into 4 equal pieces. So there's 1 hole, there's 2 holes, there's 3 holes. So now we have to figure out what fraction do we have for 3 holes. What fraction is the same as 3 holes? Well, let's start by counting the number of pieces shaded. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 that are shaded, and that's our, right, because it tells us the number of pieces that are shaded. It's our numerator. Now let's figure out our denominator. Well, each one of these is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how it's not changing, it's staying the same. Each one of these are broken into 4 parts. So our denominator is 4. So 12 fourths, or 12 over 4, is going to give us the same amount as 3 wholes. All right, let's practice with a few more. So here in this one, our whole is the triangle. So this triangle represents our one whole. So how many wholes do we have for this one? Right, we have one whole. Now let's see how many pieces we have that are shaded. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is our numerator. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the top, 4 that are shaded. So how many do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our denominator. So 4 fourths is the same as 1 whole. Let's try it again with a different one. Now, right away, how many wholes do we have here? We have 2 wholes. See if you can find the numerator and the denominator for the fraction for these 2 wholes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that are shaded. So that's our numerator, and it goes on the top. And each one of these is broken into 1, 2, 1, 2 pieces. So our denominator is 2, because that's the number of total pieces we have. So 2 wholes, 2, we can just say 2, is the same as or equal to 4 halves, or 4 over 2. Let's try another one. How many wholes do we have in this one? We have 4 wholes total. And how many pieces are shaded? Be careful. Look at what you see. How many pieces are shaded? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are shaded. So there's our numerator. Now, how many pieces are each one of these broken up into? Think about what we saw up here compared to what we see now. So you'll see that this one, and this one, and this one, all are just one piece. They're not broken up into anything. So this is 1, 1, 1, 1. So we'll say 4 wholes is the same as 4 over 1. 4 wholes equals 4 over 1. Now let's try to put them on a number line. So let's come back to our 1 cookie, and we found out that 2 halves, or 2 over 2, is the same as 1 whole. So I know that I need to start by labeling my number line. We're going to start with 0, and the whole number that we have here is 1. So we're going to stop at 1. Now, how many parts do I need to break my number line into? That's right, 2 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and break it. So now I have 1 part here and another part here to have 2 parts, because we have 2 pieces. Now, what do we label this fraction right here if we broken it into 2 parts? That's right, this is 1 half, or 1 over 2. Now we need to put our 2 halves on our number line. So where would 2 halves go? Right, we would put 2 over 2, or 2 halves here, because it's the same as 1. So let's try it. Okay, so here we have our 3 wholes, 1, 2, 3, or our 3 cookies. And we know that 3 wholes is the same as 12 fourths. So what numbers do we need to put on our number line? Well, we always start with 0, so we have 0, and we know we need to go all the way to 3. So that means we need to put 1 and 2 on our number line as well. Now, we know that 3 wholes is the same as 12 fourths. So we can number that on our number line. But how many is 1 whole? Go back to your picture and see if you can figure out how many is 1 whole. What's the fraction for 1 whole? So if we take off these 2 and we only have 1 whole, what would be the fraction for 1 whole? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces colored. So we can put 4 as our numerator. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces total. So we can put 4 as our denominator. What about if we had 2 wholes? Now we have how many pieces shaded? Right, we have 8 shaded. How many pieces are each whole broken up into? 4. So 2 wholes is the same as 8 fourths. So we have 1 whole is the same as 4 fourths, or 4 over 4. 2 wholes is the same as 8 fourths. 3 wholes is the same as 12 fourths. What do you notice we're counting by? We're counting by fourths. You have 4, 8, 12. So let's see if we can try another one on a number line. Okay, so here we have how many wholes? Right, we have 3 wholes. So on my number line, I'm going to label them 0, 1, 2, and 3. What would be the fraction for 1 whole? So look at your picture. What would be the fraction for this 1 whole? So if here we have 1 whole, how many pieces are shaded? And what's our denominator? We have 3 pieces that are shaded and 3 pieces that our shape is being broken up into. So 1 whole is the same as 3/3. Now, if each one of these is broken up into 3 parts, that means we're going to skip count by 3. So if you have 3 here, what would be the next 2 numbers? Right, the numerator here would be 6, and the numerator here would be 9. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces shaded. Now, how many pieces are each one of our holes broken into? 3 pieces. Each one of these is broken into 3. This one is broken into 3, and this one is broken into 3. We're going to do the next one on your own. Okay, so here, each one of these rectangles represents 1 hole. So how many holes are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. So go ahead and put those numbers on your number line. So you have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many pieces are each one of these holes broken up into? 5. So we're going to skip count by 5s. So starting with 1 hole is 5 shaded over 5. Let's continue to skip count by 5s. 5, So then you have 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over, each one of these are broken into 5, so that's 5, 15, and 20. 2 wholes is the same as which fraction? 10/5. And 3 wholes is the same at 3 wholes is the same as 15/5. So 4 wholes is the same as 4 wholes is the same as, you're right, 20/5. All right, third graders, we'll see you tomorrow.